One of those big differences we see in financial reporting that comes in at that AAA top level is that it combines two levels of financial reporting. Whereas when you were doing AA before, it would have just been that financial accounting module. So the main things that would have come up were your provisions, your doubtful debts, those type of things. And they can be a bit tricky, and they can still come up at AAA, but they're likely to come up in a bit more of a complex scenario. So maybe it'd be a decommissioning provision instead of just a typical legal claim provision. But that jump in financial reporting alongside the practical nature makes the financial reporting side a bit more difficult. So if you are someone who hasn't done SBR or you've done it recently and you're thinking, where do I start? Well, first up, the examinable document, if you look at that, it tells you where those financial reporting syllabus areas come up and then where they're relevant for AAA. So everything in FR and everything in AAA is there. So especially if you're someone who hasn't done SBR before, then you can use that to see which areas you might need to revise in more detail. Second bit is if you look at some of the recent exam reports or past exams, you'll be able to see where that financial reporting comes up. So that will be in, for example, risk questions, in test questions, in completion reporting questions. They're like three of the big ones that where you see that financial reporting come up. And so you really need to go back and look at your revision notes. I wouldn't really necessarily say you have to go and look at your course notes and redo some calculations on financial reporting because that's really unlikely you're going to have to do that in the exam. But you do need to go back and look at those revision notes. Have a look at those areas where you may have struggled a little bit more and then look in detail at those areas. And then that will be your kind of specializing up that revision that you're going to have to do for financial reporting. So if you can focus on that, then that'll get you in a really good place coming into your revision, coming into even tuition, or wherever you are in that stage. So look at the syllabus areas, financial reporting, that examinable documents. If you look on the ACCA website, read your revision notes and deep dive on where you need to. Start looking at those examiner reports, and that'll be where you're going. And if you're looking for tips on if you've forgotten a financial reporting topic, but you've got one in the question, how do you deal with it? Then you can follow along and I'll cover that in a later syllabus.